Hi, and welcome to Kyle Ashlee Does Yoga. I'm so glad you made it onto your mat today. We're going to be doing a little guided meditation focusing on returning home to ourselves. And then I'm going to share a few thoughts on what is yoga. I get this question a lot, and so I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about my own experience, my understanding of yoga, and then also some of the things that I have read and learned as I've been on my yoga journey. So thank you again for joining me on Kyle Ashlee Does Yoga. Find your way onto the mat and let's get started. All right, so find your way to a comfortable seat. That might be sitting cross-legged like this with your hips propped up. I've got a little bolster here that I use, a meditation cushion, but you might also use a yoga block, maybe a couple blankets, a couple pillows, just something to lift your hips up off the ground, relieve some of that pressure, and get yourself into a nice, comfortable seated position. Now, close your eyes or lower your gaze and start to scan through the body. And feel your feet making contact with the earth. Feel the texture of your clothes against your skin. And start to notice any sounds around you, maybe noises in the space that you're in, little hum and buzz. Maybe there's traffic outside, birds singing. It is late spring, early summer, depending on when you're watching this. So there might be quite a bit of ambient noise in the background. Just start to let that noise wash over you. It's a happening, just like your breath is a happening. And just observe. Don't try to control it. There are no right or wrong sounds or feelings. Just noticing. And then bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and breathe out. Again, don't try to control or manipulate the breath in any way here. Just noticing how it feels to breathe in and breathe out. And as we go deeper into the meditative state, turning inward, we start to connect more with this present moment, connect more with being here and now in our body with our breath. The chattering of your mind starts to fade away. And the to-do lists, responsibilities, roles, all that can wait. And for now, just be here with your breath, feeling your body, coming home to yourself. Take a long, elegant inhale through your nose. And a long, elegant exhale through your mouth. Now seal your lips. Start to constrict the back of your throat. Give your throat a little hug so that you can feel the hum as you breathe in and out, warming your body up from the inside with this ujjayi breath, this ujjayi pranayama. Now continue to breathe in this way. And I'm going to share a few thoughts on what is yoga. So as a yoga teacher, I often get this question: what is yoga? Is it some kind of fitness exercise? Is it a wellness routine? Is it something that will help me reduce stress and feel better in my day? Or is it something spiritual, something related to a religious practice or custom? And the answer is yes, and. Really, yoga as we know it in the West is about the physical asana, the postures, the classes that we attend. But historically, yoga is really much more than just the physical asana. And so yoga actually dates back several thousand years. And so when yoga was created, it really wasn't intended to be just a physical practice. It was actually more of a mental and psychological process and practice of self-improvement, of self-evaluation, self-study for personal growth and personal wellness. And so in this book, this is called the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and this is the translation by Edwin F. Bryant. This is one of the most founding documents in yoga philosophy, and as you can see, it's a pretty thick text. But the sutras themselves, which are sort of a collection of thoughts and ideas about how to live a lifestyle according to the yoga principles, in this book, Patanjali defines yoga as Chitta Vritti Nirodha in Sanskrit, which translates to the calming of the changing states of mind. And so essentially, when yoga was first created thousands of years ago, it was a practice to help people calm their mind. And they accomplished this mostly through meditation. And so another question I often get is, why would you practice yoga? Why do you practice yoga? Why is it important to me in my life? And what I found is that when I have a regular, habitual yoga practice, so that essentially means 2 to 3 times a week I'm practicing yoga. And sometimes that's asana, sometimes that's on my mat, that's taking a class, and sometimes it's just meditation. Sometimes it's just sitting down on my cushion, closing my eyes, and taking some deep breaths. But a regular, habitual yoga practice, for me, has so many positive benefits. And there's a ton of research out there that actually kind of corresponds and confirms some of this. But just anecdotally for me, when I have that regular, habitual yoga practice, I get better sleep, I have less stress, I feel more motivated to exercise, I feel more motivated to eat healthy and treat my body in a better, healthier way, so that when I do practice, when I am on my mat, things go a little bit smoother. I don't feel as many bumps along the way. So those are some of the benefits, but even more so than those sort of physical and health benefits. For me, so many of the benefits are mental. It helps me clear my mind. It helps me respond in moments of stress in my life when I feel anxiety and stress. It allows me to just calm my mind and let some of that stuff go. Now, these benefits don't happen overnight, of course. There's no magic solution. There's no silver bullet. There's no spiritual bypass. But like I said, with dedication, a habitual yoga practice, over time, there can be real significant benefits. So another question I often get is, okay, well, what about the reasons to not do yoga? Are there any reasons why you might not recommend somebody to do yoga? Or what are the challenges that many people say stop them from doing yoga? The first thing and the biggest reason I hear from people about why yoga might not be a good fit for them is that they're not flexible. People say, oh, I'm not flexible, so I can't do yoga. And the reality is that yoga is intended to help us become more flexible. So if you're not flexible, that is a great place to start, to be honest. When I first got started with yoga, I couldn't touch my toes. And so it's just this regular practice where you start to return every day, noticing your body, coming into your body, giving your body permission to relax, to open up. That sort of regular habitual practice helps you become more flexible. And it's not just more flexible in your body, you start to become more flexible in your mind as well. And so again, if flexibility is a challenge for you, yoga actually might be a great thing to try. I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not really that fit. And I see all these pictures of people on Instagram doing yoga, holding their body in all these amazing positions. And I just don't think I have the strength to do a yoga class. And, again, as I've said, yoga as it was originally created in the Yoga Sutras is not really meant to be a physical practice. That's mostly just how it's interpreted here in the West. And so if you're interested in yoga and you don't feel like fitness is something that's achievable or that's really desirable for you, you're not maybe interested in the fitness or physical aspect of the yoga practice, then just digging into the self-reflective, meditative aspects of yoga might be a great way for you to explore the practice of yoga. The last thing that I hear from folks is that yoga conflicts with my personal beliefs or with my spiritual or religious beliefs. But it wasn't really intended to be a religious practice. It was more intended when it was created to be a personal growth and wellness practice to help you calm the mind, identify areas of your life where you can improve, and take measurable, tangible steps towards creating a better life for yourself. And so regardless of what your faith tradition is, I don't know of any faith tradition out there that doesn't want you to be more calm, less stressed, sleep better, eat better, treat your body better, have more gratitude for your body, for the world around you. And so I think in so many ways a regular yoga practice aligns with all of the spiritual traditions that are out there. But of course, yoga is not for everybody. And so another thing that I think is really important to do is to consult with a medical provider about whether or not yoga is a good fit for you, for your body, for your lifestyle. So the next question is, okay, yoga sounds interesting. I want to try it out. How do I get started? And so my first recommendation for people in terms of getting started is always about trying it out. Just try out lots of different forms of yoga, lots of different classes, lots of different teachers, lots of different styles. I think really getting a breadth of experience will help you to identify and decide whether or not yoga is a good fit for you in your life. And so the first way, and I think the most approachable way in terms of trying out different types of yoga and different yoga classes, is to take an online class. There are so many different options out there. There are so many great yoga teachers who are providing free or nearly free yoga classes. And there are so many great teachers out there. I really encourage you to search around, try different videos, find ones that feel good for you, and then use that as a launching pad to maybe go out into your community and take an in-person class. So that's probably the second recommendation that I would say, is to go out and take a few in-person classes. Again, lots of options out there depending on where you live and your community. Try, a flow class, try a hatha class, try a restorative yin class. These in-person classes are really incredible because, one, you get to practice in community. You get to practice alongside other folks who are also learning about yoga. And so not only do you get to share in that collective experience, but also you get a chance to learn from other people. Just watching folks practice, maybe chatting with folks afterwards, it's also a great way to meet people and make friends. And then the last thing I would recommend is find a book. There's tons of yoga books out there and resources to learn more about yoga philosophy, yoga history, Sanskrit, anatomy, all of the different topics that are discussed in a typical yoga class come from these great texts. So whether it's the Yoga Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita, to more modern texts like this one, I love Skill in Action by Michelle Cassandra Johnson. So just find a book that calls to you and give it a try, give it a read, dive in, see what you find, and allow that to kind of support a foundation for a regular yoga practice. Let's actually return to a tall seat just to close out our time together. So open up your heart, pull your shoulders away from your ears, settle into a seat. Again, feel where your body is making contact with the earth. Maybe close your eyes. Take a big breath in through your nose and a big breath out through your mouth. Seal your lips and let your breathing return to a steady, even pace. Allow your attention, your focus to come right back to your breath, coming home to yourself. The goal of yoga, calming your mind so that you can unite, connect with who you really are, your true self, your breath, your body, this present moment right now. And thank you so much for joining me. I would love to hear your thoughts about yoga and how yoga has fit into your life. Maybe you've practiced for a while and yoga has benefited you. Maybe you have a story about yoga, or maybe you're just starting out and curious about yoga. No matter what it is, I would love to hear your thoughts. Share a comment below. Also, please subscribe if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody that you think might find it interesting. Again, my name's Kyle Ashlee. I hope to see you next time. Namaste.